is Shauna Jenkins. Welcome to Inspiring Woman Podcast. Each week, I share an inspiring story, motivation, and tips to help you get through your day. If you're ready to live an inspiring life, tune in for today's motivation. The purpose of life is to live it, to taste experience to the utmost, to reach out eagerly and without fear for newer and richer experience. Eleanor Roosevelt. Hello, my name is Shauna Jenkins, and welcome back to my podcast. So to continue the theme of thankfulness, this episode will be focused on the freedom of choice, specifically religion. Joining me today is Shadrach, Jihad, Rajule. He is someone that is special to me because he is my cousin. So how are you doing today, Shadrach?
How you doing, fam? Salam alaikum, hotel. Hola. I'm doing fantastic. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
And it's Shadrach Jihad Rajule.
Rajule. See, yes. He know I can't get it right. I'm going to get it one day. Yeah. All right. Can you share with the audience a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Okay. Well, I am a merchant. I sell fragrance oils. I'm the founder, CEO of Rajule's Oils LLC. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm a son. I'm a brother. And also, I'm Rajule Allah. You know what I'm saying? And Rajule Allah simply means, in translations, that I'm the jewel of the Creator or the Most High or the Most Wise. Pick your choice and title. You understand? So that just means that I understand that I'm a valuable creation, and I strive to carry myself and my family that way.
Okay, that's good. So how did you get the name Shadrach Jihad Rajule?
Yes.
How did you get that?
Okay. My pleasure to share. I have a lot of people ask that, and so well. During my evolution, I call it evolution, right?
Yeah.
So during my evolution, one thing that happened is I began to understand my attributes. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And within my commune, and my meditation spiritually, with my Creator and learning, it birthed a name. And you see similar things throughout bodies of different scripture. You got Abram, his name got changed to Abraham. You got Jacob, his name got changed to Israel. You know what I'm talking about? So you got different things that represents change, you know what I mean, for certain people. And so my name, one of my first names, people know it is Shaterius. You understand? And so as I began to evolve and, meditate, have dreams, I used to hear a name, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know how you wake up from a dream, you hear something, and you don't remember what it is. But throughout time, as I kept studying, I ran up on Shadrach, and I said, okay, and I looked at what Brother Shadrach did, and his brothers Meshach and Abednego in the Bible, and the symbolism of Shadrach is, for the first thing, he stand up for what he know is true. He didn't bow to King Nebuchadnezzar, you know what I'm saying? He didn't bow. So first thing, I stand up for what I know is true, even if it's against the norm. You understand what I'm saying? For instance, I grew up Christian, but now I'm Rajule Allah. So I mean, I stand up for what I know is true, especially with what the Most Divine is doing with me. I would say it like that. And so Shadrach, first off, it stands for, standing for what I know is true and not bowing to anything inferior to that truth. And it also means Shadrach is also the name of, his real name is Hananiah. So he's a Hebrew slave. He's a Hebrew slave that was brought into the land of Babylon, aka America as well. But anyway, he was a Hebrew slave brought into the land of Babylon named Hananiah, and he received the name Shadrach. So Shadrach also symbolizes my state here in, the world as today, as we know, as they call the so-called African Americans in the slave trade. A lot of us being in, a land that's not ours, or even just treated in an inferior way for years, though it's getting better now, I shall say. So Shadrach also, Shadrach also stands for, a young son of God who's enslaved or in a or in a those type of positions. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's where Shadrach come from. And so jihad is another spiritual aspect of me. And jihad means spiritual warfare, both inside and out. You understand what I'm saying? And so just to bring about righteousness. It's spiritual warfare both inside and out in order to bring about righteousness. You understand? So first, I practice jihad within self, and you would call that, I guess, cleansing yourself, I guess. You see what I'm saying? Right. And building your spirit, man, as people say, as we heard in our tradition, you want to build your spirit, man, to build up your spirit. So that's jihad within self to become a pure and righteous child of God. And jihad, as far as on the outside of me, is just, seeking to see righteousness and bring righteousness wherever it may be. Just like, let's say if you got somebody, for instance, God rest her soul, like Breonna Taylor, all these people, I say in my language, I say they was doing jihad when they, they out here fighting for someone who was doing wrong. So that's also jihad. And so then finally, Rajule, like I said before, means that I'm the jewel of the Most High. I'm a valuable creation. Just like you see any jewels, these little jewels, or your diamond ring that your husband may have gave you, like a jewel, valuable creation. And I understand, so I see myself, understand my value, that I am as a valuable creation. You know what I'm saying? And I carry myself that way, and not because I am, but because by the grace of the Most Wise, he made me a little bit wise. You know what I'm talking about? Maybe a little bit. And so I try to not try to, but every day I strive to stand up to that and live up to that name.
Yes. Wow. So you're pretty much God is the king and you are the prince.
Yes.
So you try to operate at your best all the time, and that's what those names are for. Like, you are a jewel. You are valuable. So that's what I'm getting from your meaning, that you are valuable. So that's cool. I'm glad you brought that down to me, because I have never asked you that, and so to hear that, like I want to change my name.
Because but I always tell, it's a proverb. It's an African proverb. I had to go back and search for it, but I know, because how you go over so much bodies of knowledge and books, you don't remember which one it was in. But it's a proverb that has wisdom in it, and it says that a man don't truly know himself until he name himself. And another thing that I will bring that to is the last before I digress is I was speaking with my wife and I had an epiphany, and I said, you know what? One of the most ancient things that we still do today is name something. You understand what I'm saying? And so we do an ancient practice every day, all the time, even when we have that's so ancient as a name. And it's not just the name, it's the wisdom behind the name that birthed the name. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's one of the most ancient things ever that we still doing today.
Yeah. So was this something like that was introduced to you, or this was something that you like studied and adopted yourself? Like when you decided to adopt this new spirituality?
Okay.
Was this something that was like introduced to you, or this was something that you just started searching for?
Okay. I would say now in retrospect that I had already been drawn to it. So I'll put it like this. I began, because I call what happened to me is evolution. I don't subscribe to conversion. You understand what I'm saying? Because to me, conversion means that you threw out everything you previously knew. You see what I'm saying? No, that's not right. I'm just converting to this. I'm not yellow. I'm red now. You understand what I'm talking about? And so I don't subscribe to conversion, because how I move, my philosophy is knowledge is the foundation of all things in existence. Knowledge is as the sun is the foundation of this solar system. Knowledge is as the Asiatic black man, or the black man is the foundation of his family. Knowledge is to look, listen, and observe. Knowledge is the first step toward righteousness. And so when I look to get the knowledge, when I gain something, I don't throw it away. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so I walk slow into what I'm going to get to know. If it's something I'm interested in, I'm gonna walk slow in it. I'm gonna do my purging while I'm in it. So whatever I get out of it when I'm gone, it's something that I'm not gonna throw away again. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that helps me skip the process of converting. Because once I know, the next thing I know, I evolve to the next. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
get greater and greater, you know, or whatnot. But so growing up in church, which is a beautiful experience. My great grandmother was a Sunday school teacher. You know, we got a lot to do with the church, and I studied. And I always say this, you know, for the people who don't really understand what's going on with me, I say, you know, I said, y'all did this to me. What I mean is, I said, you know how you have ceremonies in church when you get
Yeah.
old or something, when you about to graduate high school, they give you a Bible. I said, the worst thing y'all could have did was just give me that Bible, because I said, I'm one of the ones that really studied. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? All right, so when I went through and studied, I started to get understanding, and I kept on evolving. You understand? And so it gave me a freedom or a liberty. And for me, freedom is to free you from all the lies and wickedness of the devil's civilization. And
Mm-hmm.
so and so once I started to understand, you know, what the most wise, and I like to call God or Allah the most wise. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a term for me that may be more universal, because I say, well, when I talk about God, whether you believe in something physical or not, when I say the most wise, you should be able to understand what I mean. So it
Mm-hmm.
would be the most wisest thing that you can come up with, or most wisest thing that you can think or thought. And so when the most wise um started to help me understand my morality and who I am, um like I started to understand this simple principles, like righteousness. Righteousness is and would be the only, I would say on my behalf, would be the only religion of the most wise. You know what I'm talking about? What I mean by righteousness on the scale. You know what I'm saying? And so we would have to look up and try to go into what is righteousness. You know what I mean? In short, just walking upright. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Being a light in your community. And so when
Mm-hmm.
I understood what righteousness is, um, you know, I kept on walking, you know, with the most wise. And like people say, they say God works in mysterious ways, right? But it perplexes me when, you know, they don't really realize what they're saying. Because I
Yep.
would say this, like mysterious and mysteries. I say, wherever there is a mystery, right, there is knowledge yet to be known. Understand what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So the only reason it's mysterious to someone else because they don't know, they don't understand, and with all that getting, get understanding. You see what I'm saying? So and so, as I started my growth, I realized that I realized first off, God was giving me my identity. Like I say,
Mm-hmm.
born in this country, right? A lot of us, you know, we consider African American, and then a lot of us preach that, you know, yeah, we came over here on the ships. You know, we don't really know what part of Africa we from, right? You know what I'm saying? You can't tell us whether we Nigerian or whether we can take a DNA test, but wisdom hit me and say, but that DNA test only going back so far. You understand what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? It won't take you all the way back and all the way back to to the beginning of your true lineage or whatnot. And so with that said, God helped me understand that. So with that said, for you to stand on truth and you want to know who you are, I tell you who you are. You see what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
so with that was birth Shadrach, Jihad, Rajule. You know what I'm talking about? And and so with that said, is uh uh all of this has been me seeking knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I've been seeking knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and I really got the understanding of the scriptures uh, when I was studying them. You know what I'm saying? I didn't deny, because you got to understand, when you start to be illuminated, I would say, or enlightened,
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of times, you know, it doesn't match the concept or the norm. You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And what I say about religion is in I would say it like this with conviction. For the most part, religion is to divide and conquer and separate. You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because if righteousness is the basic, like even in the Bible, it say none but the righteous shall see God. And it didn't say none but the Christians, none but the Muslims, none but the
Mhm.
Buddhists. It said none but the righteous. So when I realized the key terms, righteous, and that's why I say you got to judge a man by his fruits. So you can't judge him by what he called himself or what religion he
Mhm.
practices. You understand? You gotta judge him by his actions and by his fruits. And if they seem to be righteous, and you know, like they say, a good tree don't bear bad fruit, right?
Yeah.
And so it's a simple thing. You know what I'm saying? So when you see your righteous brethren out in the world, then you are more able to, you know, get more knowledge and more understanding and really enjoy the full benefit of your whole family. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because what religion is doing is setting boundaries. And
Yep.
but yeah, I digress. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you're good. No, I definitely agree. That's why, I wanted to talk to you and have you to share that with my audience because sometimes religion can separate people. So I consider myself spiritual, I'm a spiritual person. And
Mhm.
so sometimes religion can cause people to separate themselves, and it can also cause conflict with someone when they don't have the same understanding about what spirituality is. Because if you say spiritual, well, okay, so you don't believe in this, and so it just eliminates, yes, I believe in God, but I do my spirituality different than what I was raised in. And so
Mhm.
yeah, that's why I said I feel like I need to change my own name because I
Yeah.
I evolve, I'm enlightened, and learning and reading does really open up your mind to different stuff, like reading the whole Bible instead of the part that they only preach, because
Mhm.
I felt like they only preached like a little bit
Mhm.
every time I
Yes.
went to church. It was always a little bit, but as I read and divulged myself into it, yeah, I was more enlightened, and I like reading about different other religions. So
Mhm. Mhm.
it kind of made me feel like I was being convicted when I was like reading about Muslim stuff. I'm reading about, what
Mhm.
Hindu teaching and different stuff like that. And
Mhm.
so I'm like, that doesn't, as a Christian, sometimes you feel convicted when you start doing things because they put you
Mm.
in this box.
Mm. Mm.
And so I'm
Mhm.
like, but I can learn so much from
Mhm.
different teachings, because me,
Yes.
it's all about knowledge for me, and that's,
Mhm.
and I use that and I apply that with my life, and I
Mhm.
celebrate life, and I know that God, I believe in God, I know is always a higher power than me,
Mhm.
but the same way I operated as a child and the things that I was raised on, I don't operate that same way, and I
Mhm.
don't think that makes me a bad person, because I choose to just welcome all knowledge, your
Mhm.
knowledge from
Mhm.
everybody else, because you
Mhm.
can learn from people around you. We're in this world to experience it, and not to reject anyone else because they don't have the same
Mhm.
choices or beliefs that you do. And so
Mhm.
I think it's important to talk about that, because a lot of people are really afraid to really explore things because they're in these boxes. And if they
Mhm.
step out of that box, they just afraid of being rejected. So how did you feel about, did you get rejected,
Mhm.
or was it different when you kind of shared it with everybody else?
I
Or
take I tell you what, and this the ironic story, and I'm just using this because we know the terminology.
yeah.
I tell people, man, I said, man, you know how they say when they taught us, in our earlier tradition, is they say, you want to be like Jesus. I tell people, you ain't never felt like Jesus till you feel like me then. You know what I'm talking about? Because he was denied by his own people though. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? And for lack and for I say this humbly and cautiously, to quote a scripture, it say a prophet is not without honor except in his hometown, much amongst his own kin. You know what I'm talking about? And so it's a reason for that. Because once you start getting lightning, I realized that that's part of your first trial. You see what I'm saying? That's part of your first trial, and to see if you are what you are, though. You see what I'm saying? See if you're gonna shake, rattle, or roll, or fold. But at the end of the day, yes, I did get people not understanding, and it was hurtful at first. You see what I'm saying? But then the Most Wise gave me wisdom. He just, through wise men as well, but he kind of broke it down like mathematically in the frequencies. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So he say if the frequency that you getting, and you can do it vice versa, whether it's down low or up high. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Just say, so if your frequency is here
Mm-hmm.
and what you getting, and somebody else's frequency is there, you should be frustrated any longer because you see that they're not, they can't detect your frequency. You see what I'm saying? And so I just realized it for, like you say, it's just, and sometimes you're gonna raise the frequency. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
As far as like, they might not, in general, that might be another topic or another lesson. But because
I understand what you're saying. I understand it because someone is not operating off the same frequency as you, and so sometimes they're not going to be able to understand where you're coming from because they're not there.
Right.
And so that was something I learned, is that when I'm communicating to someone that about me, they can't understand it because they're not operating off the same frequency as me. And so I had to understand that in my journey of transforming my life. I did transformation. I
I
completely
see it
changed
though.
my life.
You doing great though, and your light shines bright, and that's how I know you are my sister as well as my cuz, and you one of the righteous. You see what I'm saying? And you, like I say, like my name ain't just my name. It's also a term of that can be adopted by culture, because you also Rajule. You understand what I'm saying? It just simply means the jewel of the Most High. You see what I'm saying, or whatnot. And I tell many people that when I see who they are, I say, and they say, well, who are you? I say, but you that too. But it's just specifically, my actual name and the name of my tribe. But it's also because, if you know what I mean, follow me, cuz if you know what I mean, speaking of religions, see, religions are created from families, from people spectating families. Follow what I'm saying? The Abrahamic religion, Abraham didn't have a religion, right?
Yeah.
He had sons, and then he also had Jacob, whose name got turned to Israel, and then people started saying the Israelites, and then Christianity spawned off of that. So what I'm trying to say is, the potency of God's people start with the family. It's not a religion. Religion comes when people spectate and see from the outside and wants to understand your spiritual practices or why you move like you move. You see what I'm saying? Wow. And so it's all starts with family. You see what I'm saying? Like all religions or spin-offs of people observe it like if this part of our likeness of being like the creator. He's a creator. You see what I'm saying? And he builds. And so like people, we were told that we was told that, okay, you are the original Jews, or you are this and that, with stuff that I can go back in history, but you can't go back far enough to really validate. It helped me understand that just go off the foundation is righteousness. You see what I'm saying? And I'll show you who you are, because the reason it's a naming is one of the most ancient practices is because, like I say, you see Abram, the metaphor turned into Abraham. You see what I'm saying? And so it's creating a culture. You had to create your culture, and your culture is your way of life. The way you present and carry yourself is your culture. You see what I'm saying? And so to the long and short of it is, I would say this: if God's children are flowers, you see what I'm talking about? Then they flowers. Then that means you're a rose. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm a lily. You know what I'm saying? And they are whatever they. You see what I'm saying? But that means I don't need to be trying to be no rose though. You see what I'm saying? I'm already a righteous, but I'm a lily. I'm made like I'm supposed to look and be who I'm supposed the rose, because I know that's my family now. You see what I'm saying? And so that's the biggest thing, like you said, about learning from other religions, or I would just say other cultures. You
Yes,
see what I'm
other
saying?
cultures.
Learn
Yeah.
other cultures and other families, because the religion come from the people. You see what I'm saying? It comes from
Yeah.
families and people spectate. But I digress. I get off on rants sometimes.
No, it's good. No, it's good. No, I'm loving this. So how do you feel like freedom relates to you know, your decision to practice what you practice? How is the freedom of that, how does that relate to self-care for you?
How does that relate to self-care?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything is self-care, because for me to truly take care of myself, I had to I had to get a firm and clear, straight foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And so first off, I would say your care. I would suggest that your care is more so for your spirit. You see what I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about? For your spirit, because our body only manifesting because we got a spirit in it. Understand what I'm
Yep.
saying? You just can't see spirit with your naked eyes. So our body is a witness that we are spirit. You see what I'm talking about? And so and so once I had to, I got the freedom. And what I say freedom is to free you from all the lies and wickedness of the devil's civilization. So
Yep.
when I got all the shady information off around me, as far as who I was at first, okay, they say that I'm African. I understand. I can relate to that. They say that I'm Nigerian. They say I'm the Jews. They say I'm that or that. And so once I got away from all the lies of the devil's civilization, which would mean just faulty information, or information that I couldn't stand on, I
Mm-hmm.
realized I was able to say, okay, this is who I am. I'm a righteous man because I love to do the upright things. I don't do good and doing the bad things. So first I had the freedom to understand, okay, this is me. And then I realized what my attributes were with birth, Rajule Allah. That I understand, it gave me understanding that you are a Jew, you are a valuable creation. And so is your family. You see what I'm saying? And so with that came behind me starting to construct a way of life. You see what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
started to construct my own culture. Like, you know, when I wear sun, moon, and stars, you know what I mean? It's in a lot of culture, but it has a significance to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a family man. So
Mm-hmm.
the sun stands for me, the man, the knowledge. The moon stands for the woman, my wife, you understand? And the stars stand for my children. So
Mm-hmm.
everything I got on represents family. And
Mm-hmm.
so once I realized who I am, and I realized that it ain't about no religion, it's about your family. Understand that you're a righteous man to raise your family up. And then in the future, inshallah, people will be making a religion off your family, like
Yep.
they've been doing of other people. But it ain't about some people making a religion off you. It's about understanding how to start to, like you say, self-care. You see what I'm
Yep.
saying? How to be at your best. And so how to be at my best was to spiritually have that freedom. We all got their freedom. You shouldn't look for
Mm-hmm.
that freedom from someone else, because like you say, they gonna be like, hey man, you ain't got no business doing that or this and
Yep.
that. The only compass is make sure that you're doing a righteous thing, and they study on what righteousness may be, the upright thing. And so once I had the freedom to understand who I am and become who I am, you see what I'm saying, and put that into the universe and those vibrations, you know, it began to help me. Like I say, it began to help me. I know I want to build myself up physical. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I want to work on my culture, which is the way my way of life, the way I present myself and carry myself. You see what I'm saying? Because I
Mm-hmm.
can't carry myself like that or like that, because that's not who I am. I'm just Rajul Allah. So now I'm
Mm-hmm.
a creator, the aspect of the creator, and I'm creating and producing what is inspired from the most wise on me to be. You see what I'm saying? And so like, and then so and as I wrap it up, like everything that I do reflects the self-care on, and it reflects what it means to me. Like when I started to grow my hair this time, my hair is my natural time clock. You understand what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And I'm related to self-care, because as I look at self, once I see my hair getting longer, then that's a trigger for me to think, okay, am I getting wiser? You understand what I'm saying? And that's a trigger for me to think, am I getting stronger? Is my body better? Because I use everything about me to tell to as a measuring stick. You see what I'm saying? So for me, when I look at different things, if I look at my hair and I see it's getting longer, that's not for anybody to be like, oh, it's nice, but that's a clock for me. And because if it comes down to here, I'm gonna be looking at myself now. Where are you in life though? You see what I'm saying? Are you wiser than you was? Are you making better moves than you was? Or you in better position? Then I'm gonna look at myself physically and want to know, am I, fit? You know what I'm talking about? I ain't got to be all extra. I ain't never been macho, man. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
It's fit and body strength. You see what I'm saying? And healthy. Am I putting the right things in my body? And so once I got the respect of who I am, it just gave me a power of knowing how to care for myself and my family.
yes.
You know what I mean? And for me to create what I would say, for me to create I got something here. It say, establish into thyself principles of action, and see that thou ever act according to them. So shall thy passions have no rule over thee. So shall thy constancy ensure unto thee the good thou possessest, and drive from thy door misfortune. Anxiety and disappointment shall be strangers to thy gates. And so once I understood what righteousness is, I established, like I say, I established principles to myself. You see what I'm saying? Of action. You know what I mean? And it's up to me to respect those and heed to them. You know what I'm saying? And so that I might grow. But so yeah, the freedom of my spirituality is the key to my self-care.
Yeah.
I would say.
Oh yeah. That was good. No, I know it's you being unapologetic yourself. Like you are being yourself fully and not allowing anyone to, tell you what is right, what is wrong. You are fully in yourself, operating within yourself, who you need to be. And that's the best form of self-care, not operating how someone opinions are about you, how you should operate, why you shouldn't be doing that. No, you found yourself and you operating at your best self every single day. And that's the best self-care. You're always searching yourself, searching your heart, making sure that you're operating like you need to be. And that's when you were talking about your hair. You want to make sure that when it's growing, where am I at in life? What is this a sign of? And so, no, that's the best form of self-care that you can have. Because there's so many people that are followers. So many people that are not original and not operating at themselves. And most of them are scared. And most of them, they just don't really know what they want. And to be able to really search yourself and actually take that time and actually find out who you are. That's like a lot of people don't want to do that because they're afraid of finding out who I am. Because finding out who you are sometimes is scary for some people, especially when you've been told one thing and then you like, but this is who I know I am. And so being able to operate within yourself every single day unapologetically is really amazing. And I love following your content. So now I love you and your family.
Too, your family too. Love you. Thank you.
So what inspires you? What gets you up each day, even when you don't want to leave the bed? What's something that inspires you to just get up every single day?
I tell you what, and you probably could elaborate more than me because you're doing a fantastic job with your attributes. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I realize the long and short, I'm gonna try to explain it like this.
Okay.
I realized that balance is one of the ultimate wisdoms. You see what I'm talking about? I realized that because you can't be, let's say you can't be heavy on this because that's too bad for you. You can't be heavy on that because that's too bad for you. So you gotta have a balance. And so once what gets me out of bed every morning is, being ready to produce. You know what I'm talking about? being ready to produce, and like I say, a lot of your production is starting, your production in particular, you starting to see it bloom. You see what I'm saying? Some of my stuff is blooming, some of it is about to bloom. You see what I'm saying? I'm working behind, in the darkness, you know what I mean? And so,
Mm-hmm.
but what it is what gets me up is being ready to produce, because what I notice as far as balance is I've did the studying, you know what I'm saying, and I did, put some things in play, and that all come with evolution, and then I had to build them stronger and understand and regroup. You see what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
what I mean by balance is, for me, the more, the stuff that I've studied and learned about self, and then I start to get these new frequencies in and understanding. It's not enough for me to even just talk about them. You feel what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
feel what I'm saying? Cause like I'm talking to you. This is just one aspect. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I realize that I also have to produce, and for me, a piece of my producing is, I like to write. You know what I mean? I like to compose. You know what I mean? I like to live my voice in that manner, and so and it's actually kind of like what can I say? It's actually kind of like the book report of what I just studied. It's like the
Yeah.
summary of it to wrap it up. And
Yeah.
I feel incomplete if I don't add that aspect into it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so with that, I think everybody has those. I think that's a quality of everyone once they find out how they supposed to release it. You see what I'm talking about? Because it's a balance and it's a cycle. And like they say, when your sponge is full, you gotta squeeze it
Bring it out.
but I never really realized I understood it, but now to another degree, because I
Mm-hmm.
realized that you off balance if you don't squeeze that sponge. You understand what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? If you just hold that within there, you off balance, and then you're gonna find yourself, you know, you're gonna find yourself getting tired of where you're at and finding out how to grow again. But that's why you gotta have, you gotta have a healthy understanding of gathering information, nourishing yourself, and also after you get it, like how do you bring it to life in all
Yeah.
manners of your. And so for me, it's just when I get up every morning, I'm just ready to produce. I'm ready to continue to teach my family, because like I say, my family is you know, like I say, they to the point to where I'm I'm the priest of my house, I would say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, for lack of a better term. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when I get up, I'm teaching them that see, since we Rajule Allah, that will make us, in the history books, that will make us Rajurian. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So we Raju, so I teach them knowledge of self. You see what I'm saying? I'm anxious to teach them knowledge of self and to teach them who they are, so that in the future no one can pull them left or right. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Hey, you
Mm-hmm.
belong in that group, in that group. I teach mines. Hey, all these people that look like you or they got your hue. I said, these are your people. I said, you can study these people and learn wisdom from them. But you know who you are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So no one can try to make you join this group or join that group or try to shame you for not being with us because they say this is the way. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when I get up every morning, that's what gets me up, knowing that that as the man representing the sun, you know what I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about. I want to shine my light in my family and to drive home the points that I need to drive home. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because I realized throughout time, we and I used the great prophet. He said, we've been hooked, winked, bamboozled, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so when I get up, I strive to not let that happen again. You know what I'm saying? And let them
Mm-hmm.
know who they are, and what their missions is. You see what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
know, and so and like I say, in short, the mission is to be a light, to be Rajul Allah, to be the jewel of the Most High in any situation, just to always show yourself as that way. And so
Mm-hmm.
and you can go into your various fields, but that's what gets me up every morning. Other than a nice cup of black tea, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Black tea and some honey. Other than that, you know what I'm saying? I get up and I be wanting some of that black tea cup, but man,
No,
but
that
yeah,
is
man,
good. So
but
really, that
mhm.
inspires what inspires you is being able to get up and share. your knowledge with your family and with others. That's
Mm,
that's what I got from it. Is that kind of what it is about? Just to be able to continue to operate
mm,
um at the level that you're operating in, sharing that, being a light, not
mm.
just for your family, but you also transcend that in your, in the community and the
Yes,
people who you touch.
and other than that, building. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like you say, sharing the light and building. And we know when due time, you can see your, like I say, I got the perfect example of my family in front of me because like you say, how you build and like you said, how you transform your life and how your attributes are starting to show in different ways. It's about building, and then you're gonna continue to build too. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's about building, and but the unique thing about what the things that we build, fam, is that it's that new refreshing thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And it's the future. You know what I'm talking about? It's the future. And so I take pride in knowing my position, and that's what gets me up. No, none of the old foolish stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? As a younger man, you know what I mean? It don't really work. It don't really work for me no more.
Yeah. This has been good. I want to thank you for just joining me in this episode. In the comments below, I'm going to leave where you can find him on social media. He's on Facebook. Is there anything else you want to share with my audience before we
Um, well, this piece, is all love to you all. Um, and I hope we was able to, make your day in some type of way.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope this podcast has been inspiring. Bye.
Peace.